Yes, data.avgpm 25
Okay. Uh, yeah, right. So you got it, no? Yeah. So this is just to give you the idea of the data, because we'll be using this data to understand so many other things. Yeah. Okay. So shall I move ahead? Can, can I move ahead? Okay. Okay. So now, so all of you've got the pollution data. Now, what is this data about? It is telling there are monitors in the US in different places, right? And these monitors measure the air quality. They measure, and this particular monitor is measuring the particulate matter 25. All right. So there are different particulate matters, right? So this one particular PM 25 is being measured, and so FIPS is the ID of that particular monitor. Region is whether it is in the east, north, south, west, and then the longitude and latitude where it is located. All right. So now, so when I say head pollution, it kind of gives me an idea about the data. All right. Why should I use the head command? So that I don't have to read the whole data to understand what kind of data is there. Okay. So now let's come back to how do I start doing my exploratory data analysis on it. So this is my data. Let's see what all I can do. So what I want to do is I say that uh, so what I'm interested in is that the annual mean averaged over 3 years should not exceed 12. All right. So the answer should not be more than 12 for the annual mean of the particular place. All right. Averaged over 3 years. So what I have is, say if I have data over the daily, I have the daily data. All right. And then I want to check this particular one. So are there any countries in the US that exceed the national standard? So there's a limitation to the data, the standard that is set. Okay. So how do I get to know that? So I've read the data first. All right. So first thing is just reading the data. Next thing is, so there are different ways to summarize data. So they're all one-dimensional methods. Okay. First is called the 5-number summary. All right. We will look at this. Then I do a box plot. We will go through the entire detail of what a box plot conveys. Okay. Then we can use histograms. Then we can use density plots and bar plots. Okay. So what is a 5-number summary? Now what you do is, in your R, the next command that you want to run is summary. All right. So you say summary pollution. Okay. What do you see? If you do a summary of the pollution, what all do you see? Write the command summary pollution. Can you see my screen big and clear?
Because summary pollution. Summary of pollution.
See, use the command yeah. So now what do you see is, for each of the columns I see some values out there. If I see PM25, that was what was of interest to me, right? It says the minimum value is 3.38. First first quartile, that is 25 percentile, is 8.55, and median is 10.0, mean is 9.8, third quartile is 11.35, maximum is 18.441. So just looking at this, I very clearly immediately get, okay, there are some locations where they violate the maximum limit of 12 because the maximum answer is more, right? Yeah. So summary basically gives me not 5 point, it is called 5 point summary, but actually it gives a 6 point summary. All right. So I see min, first quartile, third quartile, median, mean, and max. All right. Min and max, first and third quartile, mean and median. So actually it's 6 point summary and not 5 point summary. It's mean, median, third and first quartile, and then you have min and max. Yeah. Exactly. So it gives you the statistics, right? So summary gives you the statistics for each of the columns. So what I can do is now, instead of all this, I say I'm interested only in the PM25, right? So I say PM25. Yeah. So for that particular one, I get the answer, right? And this one, that the last one, max, tells me that okay, there is some places where it is exceeding. Okay. So now I follow some other methodology. What more do I need to see in the data? So all right. So 5 number summary I have. So next is box plot. Okay, we will learn what a box plot is in detail. Right now I'm just doing that plotting. Or shall we maybe just learn what a box plot is first? Yeah. Okay. So for that, what we will do is let me. So basically, is this visible enough, or is it too small? You
Yes.
can see this, right?
No, it is visible.
Big enough, right? Okay. Let me just see if I can enlarge this a little
Yes.
bit. So that's more. Okay. So now a box plot has 5 points. Okay. And what does it convey graphically? There's a center line, which is the median. Okay. And then there's a box here. That's why it's called a box, right? And this box, the lower end of the box is first quartile. Upper end is third quartile. After that, you see two whiskers. They're called whiskers. All right. So now the whiskers I have drawn, I've said L and H. Okay. Now, what is this? It's called the interquartile range. So we will look at this with numbers. Right now, just get an idea. You will not get fully get a good idea, because just drawing the rough picture for you. Then I'm going to explain it with numbers so that it becomes more clear. So interquartile range is what? Whatever is the value here at Q3 minus whatever is the value at Q1, right? So that is the interquartile range. So now my lowest value L, it should be greater than Q1. This is Q1 minus X into IQR. That is interquartile range, where X is 1.5. Normally it is 1.5. All right. And what is this when I say greater than? Basically, what happens is at this point, when I say this is a mathematical calculation, quartile 1 minus X into IQR, it is not necessary that there will be some data point at this point, right? Say it comes out to be, say, 4.321, whatever, but there's no data point at this point. So what is L? L is actually a data point, which is the lowest data point such that it is greater than this calculated value. So there could be a data point which is, so there's a data point here. So that is the key thing here. Now this can be, huh? समझेगा समझेगा, don't worry. I'm going to explain it in different ways. All right. Similarly, H is the highest value data point, where I say H is a data point such that H is less than Q3 plus X into IQR. All right. So these are the syntaxes. We'll come back to this later. Let's look at another one. Okay, here. What I'm saying is, say I have the upper quartile, there's 25% of the data value that is greater than this value, median, lower data point, right? Now, this length, the lower bound, now the LW, how do I get the LW? If you see LB, right, I pointed LB. LB is something which I calculate. It represents a calculation, all right? But LW is an actual data point, okay? And once you understand this, HW and HB will be also understandable. So you just look at this LW and LB. Now, how do I get LB, the lower bound? That is based on this calculation. I say Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR. So I'll get this length, right? Now any data point which is nearest to this but above this, that, so this is the data point and I take this up, all right? And anything beyond this will be all called outliers. Again, I'm sure it will not still be clear. We will look at the data, then it will become more clear. Let us look at the data. Okay. uh, what I'm doing now is sending you a link. Okay. uh, किसको भूख लगी है? Can you guys, I've sent, I've typed a link in the chat. Yeah, have you got it? Can you please open that link? Purple math. Have you all got it?
Yes, sir.
So I have also opened it. You can see it in my screen, right? Now say it says draw a box and whisker plot for the following data set. So I have this data. I say 4.3, 5.1, 3.9, 4.5, and so on. All right. Can you see this data here? Yeah. Let me do something in R for this. Okay. What I'll do is I say AAA is equal to C. Okay. All right. So I've got this AAA and I say summary of AAA. I just copy pasted that data. So I have minimum value of 3.9, first quartile is at 4.3, median is at 4.4, and so on. Okay. Now looking at the data. Now, so what is my first step? First step when I'm doing a box scan whisker is I arrange them in the ascending order, right? So I get 3.9 and so on till 5.1. Okay. So that's the first step. Okay. Then the next thing is I find out the median. How do you find out the median of a set of numbers? So how many data points do I have? I have, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, which means the ninth point will be my median. So I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So ninth point is 4.4. So my median, that is quartile 2 is 50 percentile is at 4.4. Is this clear to all of you? How you get the median?
Yes, we have.
Okay, right? So now what do I need to do? I need to, so the next two numbers I need are the medians of the two halves, right? So now I have two halves left. So one is below the 4.4, that is my median, and one is above the 4.4. So I have 8 points there, right? In each. I had total 17 points, 1 point is gone, I have 8 points, which means I have to take the fourth and the fifth point. So my fourth point is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.3. Fifth point is what? 4.3. So I take an average of this. If I take an average of this, I get 4.3. So now 4.3 is my first quartile. Now tell me one thing. Is it necessary that the first quartile answer is actually one of the data points? Or it is not necessary? Or for that matter, even, is it necessary that median is one of the data points? Right. So it is not necessary because it's a calculated figure, right? Yeah, may not be always. It's not necessary, right? So I got 4.3. Similarly, for the larger one also I get the same answer, similar answer. So I say 1, 2, 3, fourth point is 4.7, and then I have 4.8. So the second half will be 4.75. So I get quartile Q1, Q2, and Q3, right? So what I do is I have a scale here. On the scale, I draw these lines. So I've drawn this line, which is for my Q1, right? The red one, right? If you see the colors combination here, and the purple one is Q1. So there is Q2, Q1, and Q3, right? So I've done these three. Now what I do is I combine them and form a box. Is it clear? So the box is formed, and then at the same time, so now the whiskers are drawn to the endpoints. Let's see what he's in this case. Now different ways to plot, right? Here what he's doing is he's taking the endpoints as the max and the min, right? So he's taken the minimum as 3.9 and the max is 5.1. So he's just drawing the lines to it, and that's it. So this is the graph. Now if I was to draw it vertically, you will get what we saw in the so. And now let's look at what more is there. Okay. So similarly, he's giving another example. All right, but this one is just straight away the whiskers are pointing out to the end point. But that is not sometimes the purpose. Sometimes what you want to do is you want to actually see outliers. What I mean to say is you say, okay, look, finally I'm interested in data which is just so. What will be my interquartile range? Let me come back to this. Okay, tell me what will be my interquartile range IQR value of IQR in this case. Can you also compute that value for me? The lower bound and the upper bound from these values? Please do that. You remember the formula? I'll show you again. So lower bound is Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR. IQR is Q3 minus Q1. So 1.5 into Q3 minus Q1. This whole thing subtracted from Q1. Have you got an answer? So what's that answer? Q1 कितना है 4.4 right? नहीं sorry Q1 is what? 4.3? 4.3 right? So first let's do the IQR, right? What's your IQR? How much is your IQR? Huh? Q3 minus Q1, right? So your IQR is what? 0.45, right? So your IQR is 0.45 and then 1.5 into 1.45. So now what do you get? So you get 1.5 into 4.75 minus 4.3, right? So you get 0.675. Now this has to be subtracted from Q1. How much is Q1? 4.3. So I say 4.3. So this is this fine? So I get 3.625. This is my lower bound.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is my lower bound. So what I will do now is, let's say, coming back to this data. So my lower bound comes to somewhere like somewhere here. Okay. This is 3.5, 3.6, right? Somewhere here. So this is my lower bound. But if I was to look now, what is the next smallest value which is closest to the lower bound? What will that be? So at the lower bound there is no data point. Is this clear that there is no data point at the lower bound? Because my data anyway starts from 3.9. Yeah. So at the lower bound there is no data point. So what is the next value which is larger than the lower bound but is the least value amongst the data points? Hello? 3.9, right? In this case it is 3.9. Now what happens is, in some scenario, so 3.9 becomes my lower whisker. Similarly I can find out the upper whisker. So is this clear what is my lower bound and what is my lower whisker and upper whisker? Here what I did of L is what? 3.6. Alright. So my L is not 3.6, L is 3.9. Whereas Q1 minus X into IQR is 3.6. Is this point clear to you guys? Is it clear to you? How we get the lower bound? And you are also clear about the difference between the lower bound and the lowest value data point. Lower bound need not be a point. It's a calculated amount. So coming back to this. So if you draw here, the lower bound here was 3.6. Alright. Whereas LW, that the lowest value is 3.9. Clear to all of you? Who is it not clear to? Because this is a very basic thing which I want you to be very clear about. Okay, good. So your upper bound is 5.4, but then what will be the actual uh, HW? So upper bound could be 5.4 to 5. Let's look at it in R itself. So I yeah. So can you see how the upper bound value is 5.4 to 5? I've shown that in the R console here. I take Q3.
समझ में आ गया
समझ में आ गया?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. समझ में आ गया
बाकियों को समझ में आ गया? Have you guys understood this? तेरे को समझ में आया?
हाँ भैया
Okay, right? So lower bound, upper bound. So basically you're clear about what a boss. 1 minute, just a second. Let me see if I can mail this to you. Oh, this is very big. Huh? ठीक है? All right. So coming back. Huh? हो रहा record. Huh? So you're clear about your so basically this is what a box plot is, right? So box plot immediately gives you an idea about the data. Yeah. So what we will do is, let's see what command we got to run now with our previous data. So we have the summary. Now so another way, so I'm creating a histogram now, or rather let's come to the box plot itself. So hello, okay, can we move ahead? Right, okay. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to do a okay, so we're going to plot the box, do the box plot for the same data that we had. Okay, so you run the line number 114, okay. So I'll just show you the code. So this is the code. Box plot pollution $PM25. I say color is equal to blue. All right, or for simplicity's sake, let's just don't even bother about the color for now. Okay, let me just. So what do I have now? I will get a plot here. I'm just putting it up there for you guys. So this is what I get. Yeah. Can you see this? So for the whole, right? So immediately I can make out that the median is around 10. At the same time, what I need to do next is, because my line of interest is at 12, right? I'm saying upper values 12. So what I do is I say AB line. So there's another command called AB line. Okay, and I guess Y is equal to 12. No, H height is equal to 12. Sorry, right? So Height is equal to 12. So now if I look at the quartz window, it's called the quartz window, right? I see a line here. But what I'll do is I'll make it different colored so that it's become more visible for me, right? I say call is equal to blue. Okay. So I'm making the call means color. Okay. So now I've got a blue color line here. So now this clearly shows that this is my upper margin, right? And there are so many data points sitting here. Plus, of course, this is also a data point, right? So this is being drawn using that, and all of these are outliers. If you see, there are outliers here, and there are also even there are outliers at the lower end also. They're typically called the outliers in the data. Is it clear now? How do you plot the box? Can you do this yourself also? Please do it yourself.
भैया ये h is equal to 12 कहाँ से आया?
Height is equal to 12. See, what did we say? हमने शुरू में we said that, let me come back to that. We have our own condition कि the US data condition is such that I'm saying it cannot exceed 12, right? So this 12 is what I was what I had set as my limit.
ये अपना कंडीशन है ना भैया?
हाँ, it is our condition.
ये हम
Right?
लोगों ने डिसाइड किया है ना
हाँ, हम लोग exactly we have decided it. It could be anything, right? So if it is 10,
समझ
then
में आ गया,
clear?
समझ
Yeah,
में आ गया भैया.
right. So have you executed these two lines, people? Can you show what is the outliers? Wait. Yeah, Salman. Let me just clear up. You know, slightly different way of working on this is that I have to clear up whatever you guys type. Okay. Now, let's just look at the. You see the data points here. What is basically one of these circles here? Small circles. They are data points. Now, outliers is normally just saying that okay, anything which goes beyond expected. Normally, what will say any data. You say okay, it'll have say maybe 3 standard deviations, right? At max 3 standard deviations or whatever. So that is normally in the case where we are not using box plot, right? Box plot is going by the median and stuff like that, right? Similarly, in this scenario, what we are doing is we saying that we were able to find out the lower bound and the upper bound using that formula 1.5 into IQR. Whatever data points lie beyond those two, they are outliers in the sense that they are not the majority of the data. Ideally they should not be the majority of the data. So that is why they would, and normally what you will do is sometimes when you want to analyze any data, you will say okay, these many are outliers and the remaining data has this kind of a so just imagine there is one location in the US where there's immense pollution for some reason, all right, and that monitor is measuring a lot of pollution, or maybe that monitor has gone wrong for some reason. It is showing wrong calculation and suddenly it is showing 1200 as an answer. So now if one outlier is showing 1200 as an answer, what will happen to the average? The average will go up, right? Instead of that, when I can identify the outliers and I say okay, now let me knock off my outliers from the data and then work with the limited amount of data, right? So that is what the concept of an outlier is. So it's more of a statistical concept. Is it clear now?
Yes sir.
Okay. So a lot of times what you will do is it's like say you want to find out how the class is performing. So you'll say okay, I knock off the two toppers at the same time, the guys who are performing the worst, and then I take the rest of the guys and do the average and find out where the class is. Yeah. So that is what the concept of outlier is. Okay, let's move ahead. So we have understood the box plot and we are also plotted some of them. And then let us look at the same data using histogram. Okay, so I say hist. All right, so I use this line of code. I say control 1 histogram, color is green. Okay, so I have a histogram now. Yeah. So now what does the histogram do? It creates breaks by itself, right? If you look at it, it's, let's try to understand this compared to the previous one, right? You had another one and this is a different one. So now here what you get is frequency. How many data points, how many cities or whatever, how many locations are in the range, say this 0 to 15 or whatever, right? So do you see this? Is it clear? So it's also conveying something. Now what I can do next is, in this I can plot my 12-point line, right? Where does that fit in? So I can say AB line. AB line, basically what is that? Y is equal to AX plus B, right? That's what you write, remember, right? So that is why it's called AB line. I can actually specify A and B kind of things here. Okay, so here I would say X, sorry, height, maybe W, right, is equal to 12, right? So I see a line here. Let me make the color change. All right, I say color is equal to red. So I see a red color line. So basically all these are the ones which are falling, they're not satisfying the condition, so many of the cities. Okay, at the same time I can also do it for the mean. So where is my mean falling in this data? So I've drawn this, and then I can, or the median, so I can draw AB line which goes something like this. So I say vertical line at what point? Median of this data, right? Median of pollutant, then the color is magenta, and then the width is 4. By default it is 2, I make it 4. So when I draw this line, now I have one more line plotted here, and I see this, right? So this is my median of the data. Is it clear? One more thing, there's something called rug, right? What does a rug do? We'll look at that. Uh, so if I say rug pollution dollar particular matter 25, all right, and do you see here? So somewhere it is darker, somewhere it is lighter. More the data, the more darker it will be in color. Okay, so kind of you get another picture of the data also, that okay, this is, here it is densely populated, here it is lightly populated. Number of data points are drawn, actually the lines are drawn where the data is. Is this clear what the rug does? Are you also executing the same lines of code? They're all available in your week 1 code sheets.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
Bhaiya.
okay. What if I give audio to more of you? Somebody dropped out. Who's missing out of the class? Somebody went away, because I used to see 17 people. Anyways, uh, okay, all of you have been able to do this. What does the rug signify? What is it doing? For each of the data points, it's drawing a line. Look at this. See the first 2 lines. Do you see near the 0 on the frequency table? What is that? Basically that is a data point. This much is showing 2 data points, right? So at any value, whatever that is there, I draw a line. So basically I keep drawing those lines. Some places there are same place the line is getting drawn again, so therefore it becomes more dark, right? Is it clear what the rug is? Let me change the color of the rug. Color is equal to blue. Yeah, is the rug clear to you guys now? Rostov, is it clear? Let me see if I can one by one give you audio and see how it works. Kostov, I've given you audio. Okay, is the rug clear to all of you? Have you also executed it? I don't see any response. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Hi guys, can you hear me? Hello? Class, can you hear me? Hi, can you guys hear me? Hello? Hello? Oh, not able to hear me? You can hear. What happened? Suddenly, I think I gave audio to Kostab, and I think that disturbed the whole ecosystem. Maybe probably I shouldn't be giving audio to more people. You guys lost connection, is it? From your side? That's what happened? Okay. Okay. I mean, you had a problem with your internet, is it? Connection restored. Okay. I thought because so now there was a wrong causality, right? Because it was actually so the multivariate. uh, so if I had to just plot it against my giving audio signal and you receiving my audio, I would wrong causality would say that I gave access to custom and therefore it went wrong. But in reality, what happened is actually the third variable was that connection on your side end was lost. Yeah. So you got it how it works. So causality is very important. So you have to use multiple variates. Let me see if I can give couple of you guys access. So Salman, I'm unmuting you. Who else has a microphone? So Salman, I've unmuted you. Just speak. Shirish, I've unmuted you. Sheetal, I've unmuted you. You guys can hear me? Hello?
सब मिलके बोलो जय जय गुरुदेव
Jai Gurudev. Raghav wants to talk. Wait.
जय गुरुदेव
Jai Gurudev, everyone.
राघव को खाना भेजो या भूख मत
दे दिया मैंने उसको एक्सेस.
खाना चाहिए मुझे एक्सेस आप ही रखो
एक्सेस नहीं रखूंगा. ओके ठीक है. ओके शैल वी मूव हेड.
कंटेंट ही रॉन्ग हो जाएगा
हाँ कंटेंट रॉन्ग हो जाएगा. ओके okay, let's move ahead. Fine, so all of you have been able to do this AB line and drag and everything. See,
मुझे एक्सेस दे दो कंटेंट
अच्छा देखो तुम सबकी आवाज मुझे सुनाई देती है. वो माइक्रोफोन पावरफुल होते हैं. ओके
हंसने की आवाज मत हंसो प्लीज
okay, all right. Okay, let me mute everyone. So you can hear me? I've muted all of you guys. Okay. Fine. So, so we've seen. Acha, wait. Are you guys also executing these lines of code? That is important. Okay. Or we keep it this way. That, for example, say I've given you the week one file now, all right? And say you practice it and come in the next class. Will that be better? How do you want to do it? Because say we want to do the project. I want to quickly make you go through what the project looks like. Yeah. So you get an and we actually start working hands on that. That'll be very interesting. So our first project. So I'm just pulling out somebody else's plots, what I had reviewed. All right. So basically you have to plot, you have huge data and then you have to plot, you have to give answers to that data. So you will have to write the code which gives you this kind of plot and similarly other plots, right? This is plot number 2. Okay. Project 1 is easy. Project 2 is very, very interesting. So plot 3 and then this is plot 4. So basically the whole so can you see this? So this is what you will have to be able to generate out of using code from the data. Okay. So this is going to be your first project. I'm just showing it to you so that you have upfront feel of what you will be doing. Similarly, let me just quickly show you project 2. Okay. So project 2 will look something like this. Again, you have a lot of data and this will be the output for the first plot and this is your line of code, then your second plot and lines of code, third one and all these lines of code, fourth and all the code behind it, fifth and the sixth one. Yeah. So so that's what I'm saying. What is essentially needed here is actually to plot stuff. All right. So you have to practice the code yourself. So I think let me just give a logical end to the class today, where we are. Then according to that, we can move ahead. So we've done this, and so call is for color. All right, in the commands. Horizontal is equal to true for horizontal plotting. LAS is equal to 2 is basically vertical labels. We'll look at this. Okay, margins. We'll look at different. Lab is for y-axis labels, x-axis label, and then there's another function called mtext. All these samples are there in the week 1 code. Okay, so here I'm just explaining the different small parameters. So this we have already understood how we are drawing the whiskers. Okay, histogram we've seen. Now another command to that is breaks. All right, useful parameter in histogram. More breaks means less smooth and vice versa. Let us look at this. Okay, so let's come back to this data. So I say histogram and I say histogram breaks is equal to 100. All right. So do you notice what has happened? So basically the bins that are created are smaller now. On the other hand, if I say histogram breaks is equal to 10, then I get a different one. Is it clear what the breaks does? You lost the part when you showed only you missed it out, Sheetal, or everyone else also missed it out? Okay. All right. Histogram doesn't matter. I'll go through that again. Okay. Histogram, is it clear? Oh, everyone. So can I just quickly maybe what I'll do is let us give a logical end to our class today. In the end, I'm going to show it again. Fine. So histogram, you're clear. Using the break command, I can change the how I want to see my data. Yeah. Okay. So then we have density plots and bar plots. Yeah. So this is what same stuff using the histogram. We've done this. All right. We've done this as well. Then we use the higher number of breaks. All right. And now, as we said, basically you overlay the right. So this also we have done. AB line 12. We've done this as well. Okay. LW is line width. Okay. Now bar plot. So basically just plotting a bar. Okay. Similar. Okay, we should finish this off, right? So there's not much of relevance, the bar plot. Main is the box plot and the histogram. In fact, mainly box plots, right? Because box plot convey much more than anything else. So I'm doing a bar plot. I'm saying I'm taking a table. I'm making a table out of this. I'm saying color is wheat colored. Uh, the number of so all I'm doing is just by region. I'm splitting the data by region. Okay. So if I go back here, uh, let's see what I get. Window quads. So I got this. Yeah. So if I was to, so this is by region. Let me change it. So I'm knocking off the label. All right. So that uh, let me just make it test. What we'll do is, let's first look at the summary. All right, summary of pollution. So now in this region I have these two, right? I don't think I can plot a, let's see if I can do a bar plot for FIPS. Let's see if that's possible, right? So what I'll do is I'll say bar plot for FIPS. Okay, so now this doesn't make sense because for each one the length is 1, right? So this will not really come across as anything. What I can do is, let me do a for particular matter, right? So I say PM25 again, because for each of the values are different. Only when I put them into bins will the bar plot make a difference, right? Is this clear? What is happening? Why there is no sense in plotting the bar plot for the PM25 data? Hello? Is it clear why I don't need, why I can't be plotting? Because I'm using single dimension here. Single dimension is not making any sense. What I have to do is, maybe the PM2 value should go on the y-axis. Even then I have to have the bins basically. Is it clear? Different kind of plots that you can do with either bar plot or box plot. All these are clear to you guys? When you just practice a little more, you'll understand it better. Okay, so let me just quickly, so bar plot. Okay, so basically this, so these are the different ones that we have for one-dimensional data. Okay, we will look into two-dimensional data in the next class, but in the meantime what I want you to do is, please make sure you have yourself gone through the whole week 1 code. Okay, if you've gone through, see what happens is, uh, ideally it's best that we spend time doing the projects in the class. Normally what is happening is you're doing projects on your own. Okay, but projects are going to create a lot of learning. Okay, so if you've done the video part yourself, then the learning will be much more faster, and you guys will have questions that will come up with, and that it'll become, our classrooms will become more practical. But for that you'll have to put little extra effort of just going through the code that I've already created. So you don't need to create the code, nothing. I've already done this exercise for you. Is this fine, or how do you want to take it forward? Any suggestions? Okay, so you already have this, plus what I'll do is I will email you my handwritten notes. Yeah, so then you'll have that as well. And what about the rest of you? How will so next class can be on when? Or shall I just quickly show you the projects before we discuss that? Shall I once again just make you go through the, okay, I'll just, so I'm not explaining anything here, I'm just very quickly making you go through it. So basically you have some huge data, it's 29 MB of data, all right, and this data we will be reading into. So this data is given to us as RDS file. Basically it's more like a complete data table itself, right? So the data is available to us. Okay, and we will read this data, and then based on the questions that are there, you will understand this data first, and then you will plot those graphs. For example, there are 6 questions in this. So first question is, I will do that, Debashri. Right away, I'll take care of it. Yeah, I may not be able to mail it. I'll have to put it in a Dropbox because it's about 15 MB a file. Yeah, and I'll see how I can, or maybe on Google Drive if I can manage that. That'll be the best. Yeah. So we have this. So have the total emissions from PM 2.5 decreased in the United States, and it's actually live data. So the question that is being asked is, in the US from 1999 to 2008, has the pollution decreased? This is what you need to answer. So there is no standard graph that is given that this is what you have to plot, right? So he says use the base plotting system. There are three different systems. We will learn that. Three different plotting systems that are there, and we will learn these systems. So we'll use the base plotting system to provide an answer to this question. All right. So then the second question is, how have the total emissions for Baltimore decreased from 1999 to 2008? Again, I have to plot it using the base plotting system. The fourth one is, there are four different types of variables, that is point, non-point, on-road, and non-road, right? I want to plot for these four different sources, how have the emissions decreased in the US? Again, and this time I have to use ggplot system, not the base plot. And similarly, then I have across the US, how have emissions for coal combustion related sources changed? Now this answer is not very directly available. In fact, if you let me quickly go through the okay, Shachi. So if you look at the discussion forums, course project, okay. So if you notice in the course project, uh, I had asked a question. In fact, it is one of the most viewed questions. This was project 2, all right. So the question has already had more than 1000 views, okay, and in fact it's the highest viewed question, all right. Basically the question was about how to be able to solve the fourth part, right? The fourth part is slightly tricky. So what I would recommend is you go through the discussion forum also to understand what I've explained there, and in fact I think the whole class has just followed that. Okay. So coming back to this, so this is your fourth question, and similarly you have few more questions. So you will have to write the piece of code, and this is how your output will be, and that is it for each of these. Okay, you piece of code plus output. All right, so you're clear. So this is what we'll be doing in the second project, and then the similar project is first project is slightly easier. This requires more thinking. Yeah, so our focus is to actually get to this level where we can actually write good code here. I want, so if you start off with the project maybe from the next class itself, right? Say we're going to have the next class on Tuesday morning. By the way, evening has suited us fine. How has it been? Can we spend little time now to just take feedback? How is it? First of all, how is this system? I mean, using the webinar rather than the Adobe Connect. I personally found that it is better because there was no dropouts, nothing, like in the sense, otherwise you get dropped out of the software, right? And the sound quality is better. So yeah, good. So everyone seems to agree with this point that this is a much better way, right? Great. So excellent. So we will use this, and the best part is even the trial version allows us to have 100 students, right? So our limitation of students is also gone. So every month I'll create a new ID and we'll use that. No screen sharing. Yeah, and I think it's much more comfortable. Yeah, I agree with you. Good. Finally, we have hit upon something which is suiting us. All right. All right. So that part is taken care. Now, any other feedback? Anything else that you want me to do? See, for example, I already created the code for you. It is more than what is there in the slides, by the way. The code that I have created is for learning, not just what is there in the projects in the classroom slides. All right. So go through all of those lines, question yourself, what is it like this, why it is like this. So all those things I've put there so that you understand it better. Okay. Anything else? What else? So uh, 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 other than that, all of you guys have finished the course number 3. Maybe that I'll next class itself I'll take the inputs from you guys. How many of you have finished it, how many of you have not finished, that will take care of. What else? Anything else? Acha, evening, do you think we should have the classes in the evenings? I know morning would be much better in the sense that we are much more fresh. I have only one concern with morning, that say instead of 7 we end up starting at say around 7:30, and then we are left with less time. Will you guys take care that we actually start at 7? Maybe we should fix our timing as 6:30, because it's just 3 days in the week now. So is this fine with all of you if we start at say 6:30? So eventually by the time we get into the flow, it'll be around say 7, and then we study for 2 hours, and that's it. Yeah? Can I get responses from the rest of you also? Salman and Shruti have responded. Okay, Kaustubh. Great. I'm happy all of you are okay with that. Good. Okay. And so fine. So we'll do the classes in the morning. 6:30 is when we start setting it up, right? We in fact I will set it up earlier. I mean, you guys start coming at 6:30, and hopefully we should start faster, and we can then finish by 8:30 maybe, right? Good. So that is also taken care. Plus, I mean, just uh, another thing that I would want to say is, don't create backlog. Otherwise, if you see, the third course created a backlog and some of you are still struggling with it, right? So you just finish it off. What I'm so I'm already ahead of you with as far as one course is concerned, so I'll start working on the next course, so that by the time we finish this, I'm already done with that course, so that way I can give you a broader picture throughout. Yeah. So okay, anything else other than this? People who are absent, for some of them they said that they had some like uh, Lavita and all, they had said they will join in. How will we take care whatever we learned today? How will they get to? Have you recorded anything? Uh, I have recorded. I don't know how I will. I but I don't know how, whether it is a file which will stay on my system or it is online. I really don't know. If it's online, then you guys can download it, but otherwise it'll be a problem. Okay, anything else? So do we really need a projector or anything then? I mean, coming to think of it, we didn't have a projector today, right? And all of you were seeing my screen. Was that the case, or you were seeing the screen from one place? You didn't have the projector, no? And even then, yeah. So we don't need the projector. हाँ ठीक है. You can keep the projector for what? You can see my screen and you can hear my audio. So these two things are main, and then you are able to communicate back. So हाँ, वो मैं राघव मेल करता हूँ. To see my screen, okay. ठीक है, रख के देख लो. एक प्रोजेक्टर भी रख लो, दोनों तरफ से दिख जाएगा. So that suppose sometimes what happens is you are doing something else. For example, आप लोग आर पे काम कर रहे हो कुछ, एंड उधर से मेरी स्क्रीन पे जो चल रहा है वो भी देख पा रहे हो. So that will be the advantage, right? Both ways we can use it. We notice one thing today is कि सब लोग के पास स्क्रीन है और उसके बावजूद भी nothing has slowed down for us, right? Which is important. So okay, so then somebody has to take responsibility for the projector part. Okay, so it should not happen कि उसके कारण हम क्लास अपना डिले हो रहा है या whatever. I will come and start off as it is, and projector होगा तो बहुत बढ़िया है. One of the you log in as one attendee and connect it to the projector. एंड साउंड भी अपना ठीक है इसमें, आई थिंक बिना किसी लैग के बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है. एनीथिंग एल्स? सो दिस इज anything else that you guys would want to suggest? uh Nothing for now. Good. Are you guys using the earplugs? वो मैंने पूरे एक what happened is I had bought about 35 40 for you guys, and those the volunteer that I had given to, she just ended up वो कहीं भूल गई, and वहां से जिसको मिला उसने distribute कर दिया suddenly. So you are left with I think only 16 17 pieces. If you need more, I'll send them, I'll courier them. And how do you use them normally? No, उनको थोड़ा गीला कर लो, पानी से थोड़ा गीला कर लेते हो तो वो सॉफ्ट हो जाते हैं, then it's easier to use them and then they work better. How many of you using the earplugs, by the way? Oh, you just got them now. Okay. So if there's noise in the hostel in the night, then you just wear them, go to sleep, so you can come in time for the class. Yeah. I use it even for meditation, because I have to meditate sometime and a lot of noise around, so I just put the earplugs and that's it. Okay, good. Teachers make noise. Oh. They are available on Chemist Shop. Here also in Chandigarh, I found them only on one or two shops. But if you see, go to a chemist and ask them, do you have earplugs? Com3 brand is anyway has written, no? So Com3. So if you can get them, then that's good. Otherwise, I'll courier them from here. Not a problem. Okay. Anything else? Unnecessary scolding. वो तो मैंने भी की है भाई कितनी बार. Okay. And then are we done then? Okay then. Bye bye and Jai Gurudev to everyone. Yeah, please, Shruti, go ahead. Ask your questions. Bar plot, yeah, I'll come to that. Next class, we will have when Tuesday morning, no? Yeah, next class Tuesday morning, 6:30 a.m. Yeah, 6:30 a.m. next class Tuesday morning. Please be in time and please take care that everyone else also is there. Huh? All the people, अपने groupmates को लेके आओ please. Huh? Okay. Uh, any other questions? I'll come to bar plot, Shruti. Bye, Kaustubh, Jai Gurudev. Let me just wind up with the rest of them. Then we'll whoever wants to stay back to understand what a yeah, do that, Kameshwar. You talk to Ankur. You can get his number from I guess Sarvani. Yeah, so Ankur takes care of it for me. So he will help you out with that. Yeah, that's okay. No problem. Okay. Okay, good. Can some of you stay back and let's see, or maybe I'll read it out. There's no point. I wanted to see if everyone can see everyone's chat. That will be easier, no? Or is this fine? If you guys are not seeing each other's chat, this was also fine, right? In fact, I think it may be more focused because then you're not looking at you getting Q. I didn't get that. You're not getting what? we are sorry, Shruti, I didn't get it. Hmm. Oh, you're not getting the questions. Uh, okay. Hmm. Yeah. So, Pratik, you have all the material. I'm going to mail my notes as well. Uh, yeah. Even I think the same way, Kamish. How do you resend it? Let's say, let me resend it. Say, for example, you've typed this. How do I? Uh, wait, let me see. So, okay. So, yeah. So, what can be done is, but I'm seeing how can that be done quickly rather than we have to copy paste. Okay. This is what can be done maybe. I just select it. I say Control C, Control V. No. If I select Control C, no, this is not copying it. I have to send chat message. Oh, okay. Can we see all the charts? Yes, Shruti, I'll show you. Uh, you are able to get it multiple times. No, no, yeah. So basically, I was trying. Shruti, I'll come to you. I'm just figuring this out, and just give me a little more time, please. Huh? Trying to figure out how I can sort out this problem that you raised. No, key questions are not able to be visible. How can I take paste recent? I don't understand the question. Please. Uh, so I think the only way is I have to copy paste it. Say, for example, uh, what I did, Shruti, in this case was I was reading out the questions. The advantage is then you are also not needed to, you don't need to focus on the chat window. So if somebody was typing any question, I would just read it out. Would that take care of it, do you think? What about the rest of you who are still online? Any feedback? This would be good enough. Do we, like we don't need to have everyone else's chat visible, right? Well, I think it then otherwise becomes a chat window wherein people start, getting defocused. So, okay, good. Okay, I think we will start getting used to this new software. It'll be fine. Okay, so let me come to your questions, Shruti. First is a bar plot. Huh? So let me come to R first. Control 1. So you plot bar plot. Okay, question mark bar plot. So what does it say? Creates a bar plot with vertical or horizontal bars, right? That's what a bar plot is. Now, what are the inputs for it? Height, width is equal to 1. Height is either a vector or matrix of values describing the bar which make up the plot, right? So let me say, if I say bar plot, okay, height is equal to C1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Let's see what happens. Do you see this? Shruti, can you see what happened? Okay. Good night, Kameshwar. Jai Gurudev. Okay, wait, I'm giving you mic access. Yeah, yeah. Shruti, I've given you mic access.
Okay.
Yeah. Hmm? So you saw what we did when we bar plot, height is equal to, so only one parameter I'm using. I say height 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, right? So that's what it gets plotted,
Okay.
right? On the other hand,
Yeah.
so let's come back to the help for bar plot again, right? I say bar plot. says height, then the next parameter is width, optional vector of bar width, recycle to the length, right? Height width by default it is 1. Okay, so what I'm interested in is giving the height. Everything else forget it, everything else is settable, right? So now um, I say bar plot, okay, height is equal to pollution dollar region. Okay, what will I get?
Okay.
Oops, wait, I made a mistake. Now tell me what will I get? So pollution dollar
So,
region, where is the mistake? Height must be a vector or a matrix. Oh, see, height in this case, what is height? This is not a vector, right? It's actually a uh, uh, hmm, so what if I say pollution dollar region? So I have to convert it into a table, right? So otherwise it will not work out. So I have to say pollution dollar region. First, let us look at this
region.
much, this command itself, right? I say table of, wait, do you see this? This is what I have. East has a value 442, West has a value 135. On the other
Can
hand,
you read?
if I was to just say pollution
Hello?
dollar region, see what happens.
Oh,
Now I get all this east west east west. East west cannot be plotted, right? Numbers only can be plotted,
yeah.
right? Or I can say
Oh,
instead of table, let's say if I can say factor. Let me see if I get anything. No, even factor it's not working out. What I can do is levels. Let's see if that works. No, it's just giving me two levels. So so what all I have to do, I can just do is so okay. Let's look at another one. I say pollution dollar
mm,
pollution dollar FIPS. What do I get? I get these numbers, but they are not uh, in numeric form. They are in the what form are they? Character, right? So I have to convert it
yeah.
into. Let's see if I can manage to convert it into numeric. I say as numeric. Now I get them as numbers. Now let us do a bar plot on this. Okay. I say bar plot. Okay. As numeric. Let's see what I get. I say quartz one. Do you see this?
Video is lagging, Maya.
Sorry,
Video is lagging.
video is lagging. Okay, I think
Yeah.
you'll get it. Now you're getting it.
Ah, yes, Maya.
Yeah. So this is what we
Yeah.
get like this. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm knocking out the as numeric part. Okay. Let's see what happens. Now what? Wait. Uh, Non-numeric argument to binary operator. It says right. Doesn't like it.
Mm,
If I create a table of this, so let's see if I create a table. What do I get? I say table. Oops. So now what is happening? For each of the values, answer is 1 because they are unique cities, no?
yeah.
The code is only, so for each code there is only 1. So what is getting plotted when I do this? Table of pollutions, table like this. So if I do a plot, right? I say bar plot. What will be the output? Tell me. It will end up plotting everything 1, 1, 1, 1. Do you see?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is what I don't want. So different kind of data, I have to check first what I need to plot. So here I would say as numeric, then I can get this like this. So I see, okay, this is how the uh,
Mm,
county IDs are changing. Okay, now let us say
okay.
my interest was PM25, right? Let me do that.
Mm, mm,
I say, first of all, let's see what is PM25, right? Or let me just do this. See, now I've got this.
yeah.
So yeah,
Ah,
if if I just do
table of PM25, what will I get? I get a straight line. Why? Because the table of PM25 is going to be something like this. Each value, let us just do a let's first look at individually what it is. So these are the values, right? Now these values, I can plot them as they are. So I can just say bar plot, they are anyways numeric, right? I say pollutant, pollution or pollution, pollution, right? Dollar PM25. So I got the same thing, right? So is it clear what a bar plot is doing? It just picks up one value and plots it according to whatever the length is. So if you look at the first
But
value,
yeah,
yeah,
hello?
yeah, tell me.
Just a second. So, Bhaiya, Sarvani is asking why all the values are 1.
Because we actually use the command table, no? Table will do that. It is not because of the bar plot.
Okay.
What happened is, just a second. Akshay. Jai Gurudev. करे आ जाओ आना तो ठीक है आना है बच्चे ने भी आना तो आ जाना अच्छा अच्छा चलो आ जाओ हाँ ठीक है आ जाओ हाँ हेलो
Yes, Bhaiya, got it.
So why you got the one is basically what does the command table do? Let's look at table. All right. So table will use the cross classifying factors to build a contingency table of the counts at each combination. Okay. So let's say AA. You will understand it better like this. I say A is equal to 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. Okay. And then I say A. I get this. I say table AA. What do I get? How many values of 1? 1, 2, 1. It is giving the frequency. Now if I change A, I say A is equal to this, comma 2. Alright? Now if I say A, I get this. But if I say table of AA, got what has happened? How many times 2 is coming? 2 times.
Yeah.
So this is what the table command does. So I say one more 2. Alright? And one more 4. So table, got it?
Okay.
So now what was happening was, if I say pollution dollar region, what do I get? I get all this east west, right?
Yeah.
So if I was to do table on this, what will that give me? How many times east has come, how many times west has come,
Okay.
right?
Fine.
On this now if I do bar plot, I will get
East and west.
right. Yeah, east and west. East value will have be 442 and west will be 134. Correct? So now why everything was showing 1 1 in the case of that FIPS, I say pollution dollar FIPS. Let us look at it. What has happened? What have I made?
At the rate there.
Yeah. Okay. Now this data is actually what? It is character, not number. Right? So now if it is character, plus it is all individuals, unique. It is not getting repeated. Right? So because now if I was to do this, I say table of FIPS. So each of them have one frequency. Therefore I get 111. If I was to do a plot on this now, I say bar plot, I say FIPS. What happens? Everyone is 111. So from 01003 to 55087, everything is 1, no? That is why it's showing 1. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
So bar plot is simply just whatever data is there, it will plot it. It was the table command which was causing that problem.
Okay.
Hmm? Hmm. What else now?
Done, Bhaiya.
Done, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bhaiya, can you send me this R file? Now only you did all these things, no?
Sorry, what do you
I'll
want?
refer it. You explained me all these things, no? Can you send me this R file?
This one, wait, let me just. This is not actually an R file. I was doing it on the console.
Huh? Okay, so
Let us just
will
put
not be.
this for you. Wait. Hmm. File, new document. Okay. I think it is better that just the simple example is there good enough, or you want. Wait. Pollution dollar FIPS. ठीक है. Then we say let's do this. Wait. Bar plot. Let's see what happens. We should get an error ideally. Dollar FIPS. Yeah. Why? Because it is non-numeric, no?
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yes.
So I'm creating it for you. Okay. So I say. Bar plot. Pollution dollar FIPS. Miss. So I say bar plot as dot numeric dollar FIPS. Yeah. So this has explained one thing. Now the other thing is you want to understand that 111 wala, huh?
Yeah.
So if I say below line gives error, say bar plot pollution dollar region. ठीक है. But
Yeah.
so I say bar plot dollar table pollution dollar region. ठीक है. So this will take care of it. Yeah. But before that, let's get hold of the command which pulls the data. R1. ठीक है. So let me save it and give it to you. let me send it to everyone.
Bhaiya,
Hmm.
my region is in factor.
Why region is in factor? Because wait, let me just कहाँ गया वो, बंद कर दिया का फाइल मैंने. अच्छा यहाँ पे राइट. So you saying third one हमने factor लिया, third one is region, है ना? Because otherwise it will get, we'll have to capture it some way, right? तो या तो character capture होगा वो, कैरेक्टर होगा तो फिर उसमें से वो फैक्टर वाला एलिमेंट निकल जाता है, which is better, factor is better, so I'm using it as factor. It is my choice, I can make it character also.
Okay, so what's the difference?
Wait. I say summary, all right. Pollution.
I can't see the.
Why?
Okay. No, the video lag is there. Okay. Fine.
Okay. You can see the summary now? Yeah?
Yeah.
So now if I say summary dollar region, I get east west. Then if I was to, so now here it says already is calculated, right? East 442, west 134,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Plus if I say pollution dollar region, let's see what gets printed out. You see it says west east west and levels east west at the end. You can see this?
It's coming.
Why is this slow?
Yeah, bhaiya.
Yeah,
Yes,
you can see
bhaiya.
this.
Yeah.
Okay, now what I will do is I'll import the data. I'm copying this line of code and so I'm pasting it here. I'm saying pollution 2, and instead of factor I'm making it as a character. All right. Okay. Now if I do head, first of all, head pollution 2, I get region east. Okay, now let us do pollution $2 region. Do you see there are double quotes? Can you notice the difference?
Yes.
So because now it is text, earlier it was factor and therefore it was showing it up that way, right? If I was to do a table on this, I'm not sure if I can do it. So that is the reason. Something which is anyways a factor, I should use it as a factor.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah. The data storage for factor is much lesser.
Okay. So we can't make table out of it?
Let us see. We may be able to make. Table we will be able to make, I guess. But the idea is that, yeah, you're able to make the table. That's not a concern. Main point is that the data is anyways more suitable as a factor rather than this character. You want to assign a code. You say east is equal to 1, west is equal to 2. Right? So that is the thing. The factor will always require less memory. Now this is huge data. Let us say you have 1 million records, right? And character occupies the maximum amount of memory space, no? So if I make it into factor, then all it is storing inside is 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. In the end, it says 1 is equal to east, 2 is equal to west.
Okay.
You got the difference, no?
Yes.
So the storage is so much more cheaper. So let me just send this file to you guys. ठीक है, तो ये तेरे को फाइल भी मिल जाएगा। ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट इज, और क्या क्वेश्चन था?
और कुछ नहीं।
डन हो गया? ओके।
एक मिनट भैया।
हाँ,
सरवानी, you have any questions? Fine भैया, done.
डन हो गया। और
हाँ.
देबश्री ऑल्सो इज स्टिल लॉग्ड इन। प्रतीक, आर दे देयर?
Yes, Pratik, Shreesh and Mani and Sarvani.
ठीक है। प्रतीक, यू हैव समथिंग टू अंडरस्टैंड?
No, no,
नो? चलो फिर, हाँ, ठीक है डन। बाय, जय गुरुदेव, सी यू ऑन ट्यूसडे मॉर्निंग। बाय बाय।
Yeah.
हाँ। ओके, ओके देबश्री।